As an orthodontist, and I think I'm speaking for my fellow orthodontists around the world, we are programmed to correct problems such as if we see a space, we want to close the space. It's a reflex. If we see a crooked teeth, we want to align it. But I saw a new patient today, and he came in with a chief complaint of crowded teeth. But there were two things about his case that I pointed out to him that I was not going to correct. And I want to share this with you and explain my rationale. So the first thing, here he is, and you can see that the lower teeth are moderately crowded, but he has a space here because he's missing tooth number 20, the lower left 5. And that space is not bothering him cosmetically. And I asked, and he said he doesn't trap any food there. And usually if a space is more than 1.5, it's not that much of a food trap. The space is not bothering him. And the occlusion is such that trying to close that space, I think, will lead to issues because his premolar occlusion is great, and trying to distalize these teeth back into a perfect occlusion is tough to do, especially with the third molar there. And really the issue is why. He'll cope fine like this, as he already has, because he's 38 years old. The other thing I wanted to show you, we're going to make these teeth line up. His upper arch needs to broaden, but he has a crossbite, a posterior crossbite. And you can see here how his upper molars are biting inside the lower molars. It's not like that on the other side. This is a unilateral crossbite. Now, most unilateral crossbites are from a jaw shift called a functional shift. And especially if it's a child who's still growing, you definitely want to eliminate that and correct it so that their jaw will become more symmetric. But in an adult, this patient's midlines are on, and he actually has a true asymmetry to his upper arch. I don't know if you can appreciate this, but this is a little bit broader than this side. Consequently, he has a crossbite. Now, it would be nice in theory if I'm going to line up all his teeth to also correct that crossbite. But in my experience, especially with aligners, trying to broaden out this arch is going to cause those teeth to lift, and to get a solid occlusion with the ideal correction of the crossbite is very hard to do. And I have not only treated, but looked at many dentists' final results because I help a lot of dentists and orthodontists. And this will be a problem in the making if you try to correct this crossbite. So right now, his occlusion is solid. He has no problems chewing. He came in because of the crooked teeth. So I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to leave that crossbite. Because if I try to correct it, what I believe is I'm going to remove him from a cusp-fossa relationship and lift these teeth up, and I'm going to have the buccal cusps of the upper not sort of tucked over the buccal incline of the lower. So I'm making the case much more simple and addressing things to where he is, and I think he'll be fine.